Offense. What is it? Are we playing it yet? Maybe you think we are. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about the climate change, death cultists, and so much more coming up on I'm Right. Offense. Playing offense. Do we know what it is? Now, I'm not insulting your intelligence, right? I'm insulting mine, but I'm not insulting yours. Just hear me out here. We are anti-communists. Here on I'm Right, that's what we are. We're anti-communists. We're not Republicans, we're not libertarians, not nationalists, not conservatives, anti-communists. Why? Why anti-communists? Because nothing matters until these people are stopped. Nothing. Doesn't matter what you think. Well, I think this about this role of government or this role of this or that. I'm more of a libertarian. I'm more of a nationalist. I'm more of a traditional conservative. You're all going to be eaten, all of you, by the communists. Stop them first, and then we'll deal with our differences. Anti-communism is all that matters, because if these people win, we're finished. So we talk about playing offense against the communists, right? And how the right has to change its mentality and play offense. But do you think we're playing any offense right now? Are you under the impression that anyone, anywhere is playing offense right now? And maybe you're right now saying, yes, Jesse, Ron DeSantis is. Ron DeSantis is playing offense. Okay, all right. I like Ron DeSantis. I'm extremely impressed by Ron DeSantis, actually. It's been in the news. Ron DeSantis is blasting away at Disney. Disney went after Ron DeSantis. He returned fire, taking away tax status. The DeSantis versus Disney. That's hard to get that out, actually, the first time. The DeSantis versus Disney fight has been in the news, and you like it, and I like it. I'm not complaining about it, by the way. You like it, and I like it, and we say, yeah, fight back, offense. But I think it's important we talk about this. That's not offense. That's not offense. And hear me out here. I think about this every time we see a new ban on this or a ban on that, which I'm for. Hey, get these pornographic books are in the school's library. Ban them, get them out. Good, we should. Hey, drag shows for children. Somebody ban these. Good, we should. I'm not complaining. That's not offense. I want you to think about this for a moment. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about you and your 10 friends. You and 10 of your friends, you're going to line up with shields at the 50-yard line of a football field, all right? You have shields, you and your 10 buddies. Me and my 10 buddies, we are also going to line up opposite of you on that 50-yard line with our shields, all right? And we're going to smash into each other. And the goal is to push your guy, your opponent, into the end zone. It's like a football game, all right? But just stay with me for a second. Now, if we are being pushed this way, if all of a sudden there is something that exists now that didn't exist before, that means they have been playing offense. We didn't have books about why you should become a transsexual communist in my school when I was a child. I bet you didn't have that either. This is something new. We didn't have child drag shows when I was a child. This is something new. This is them pushing us on our side of the field. Now, if we stop them, and we should, if we dig in our heels and we ban it, we stop it, no more of this, we did a good thing, right? I want to stress this. That's a good thing. But that's not offense. That's just the start of playing defense. We're still over here on our side of the field. Here's the 50-yard line. We're busy just trying to stop their gains. It's necessary to stop their gains. I don't want to poo-poo any of the things we're getting done right now. This is a good, healthy thing we're doing. It is. But we can't be under the impression, as we work on changing our mentality, we can't be under the impression that what we're doing currently is offense, because it's not. It's not. We are just barely beginning to play defense. And I bring this up because not to dishearten you in any way. I want you to feel good. You are here. I am here. We are here for the beginning of the fight back. We have honestly just been letting them run over us. We're just starting to dig in our heels and say, no more of this. No more filth. No more craziness. No more going after the kids. We're just beginning that. So this is a good thing. Feel good about it. But don't think that is offense. That's not offense. They're still way on our side of the 50-yard line. Way on our side. And you know how you can tell? Here's how you can tell. You can tell because you and I'm blaming myself too, we are conditioned by years of being more traditional conservatism. And so we think certain things are fighting back that actually aren't fighting back. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I will leave you with this one little quote, all right? Just one little quote, because maybe all this has made you uncomfortable, as we just said. Very, very uncomfortable. You've heard of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. You probably have heard the name. Just know that he was somebody who lived under the Soviet Union, spent time, a lot of it, in the Soviet Gulag system, wrote that famous book, Gulag Archipelago, about his time under communism. This is a human being who saw the final form. This is a human being who lived under the direction we are going quickly. And do you know what he said about communists? I'll tell you what he didn't say. I'm looking at his quote right here, and I don't see anything about, I don't see anything about live and let live. I don't see anything about that. I don't see anything about that's not who we are. I don't see anything about, but that's not in the Constitution. Do you see that in there? Man, I know, I'm not wearing my glasses, but I don't see anything in there. You know what he said about dealing with communists? Read it. During my time in the camps, I had got to know the enemies of the human race quite well. They respect the big fist and nothing else. The harder you slug them, the safer you'll be. Remember, we have a long way to go before we start taking back ground and marching our way back to the 50-yard line. We have a great show planned for you tonight. Before we get to that, before we get to the climate change nutters, before we get to our light in the mood, before we get to anything, let's get to the crappy timeshare you're stuck in. You know what? That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. I'm sure it's a nice timeshare. I'm just referring to the fact you want out. All right, it's crappy now that you're still paying annual fees, many of which have doubled. You're still paying special assessments, but you don't use it. You want out, and you've tried to get out, and they're telling you, sorry, you're stuck in there for life, and you believe them, and now you're just stroking that check every single year. You don't have to do that anymore. You're one phone call away from freedom. One phone call away. Lone Star Transfer will get you out. You know how I know? Over 18,000 former timeshare owners know. They'll get you out legally. They'll get you out permanently. They've been doing this for a long, long time. There's a reason they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call Lone Star Transfer today, 844-310-2646, or go to lonestartransfer.com. We'll be back. All right. We actually, man, we are how far into the show? And I'm almost embarrassed to say we haven't even heard from the president yet. The president of the United States of America spoke about the plans for 2024. Here's the president.
Is there any chance at this point that he's not going to run?
Not in my book.
You're all for it.
I'm all for it, of course.
Of course. Of course. Thank you, President Biden. Of course I'm all for it. Now, we haven't talked about this in a while, but can we just dwell on this for a brief moment? I'm not going to spend a long time on it. We've got all kinds of issues to get to. Can we dwell on how absolutely wretched that is of Jill Biden to allow this farce to continue? One, why are we hearing from Jill Biden? No one elected Jill Biden. Nobody. No Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party. Nobody elected Jill Biden. Why do I always hear comments and interviews from Jill Biden? You're the first lady. Pipe down and go read books to kindergarten kids. That's one. Two, how in the world can the wife of Joe Biden think it's appropriate that this human being is still out there in the public eye every single day?
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. And enjoy the reception which starts after the next performance that's about to be announced. Where's the... All right, who's going to announce? They're going to announce it? All right.
I've announced it. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for my country. And don't think, this is something we lose sight of. I forget about this sometimes too. Remember, when the President of the United States of America speaks, it's not just you and me that watches it. It's not just us, hey, text your buddies. The entire world watches it. And man, this hurts. You know, the whole world's been laughing at us since Joe Biden got elected. Hey, this is Australia.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, no man has ever been better equipped to lead the United States, and indeed, all of the free world and the current commander-in-chief are in good hands, folks. Gosh.
Jill Biden is an elder abuser. And if she loved her husband, she'd step in and put a stop to this. But, you know, hey, it's a good life being First Lady. Air Force One, baby. But, hey, good news for Jill. There's finally some competition on who the biggest elder abuser in America is. John Fetterman, affectionately known as Senator Cucumber on this show, obviously can't speak. He's severely brain damaged from a stroke. Anybody who watched any footage of him at all prior to the election knows that to be a fact. He then gets elected to the majorly powerful position of United States Senator. He can't function. His brain is melting into goo, and he has to check himself into the hospital for severe depression. Now, it's not just that Giselle Fetterman didn't step in and stop the campaign when her brain-damaged husband was dying out there. She actually attacked reporters who said that John Fetterman can't speak at all. Now that Senator Cucumber is checked into a hospital with depression, scary, possibly life-ending depression, what did Giselle Fetterman do? Giselle Fetterman packed the kids up, and she's ziplining in Canada, baby.
Went ziplining over the falls, and August got stuck. They're trying to rescue him now.
Oh man, my husband, Mr. Cucumber's in the hospital. Zipline time. These women are freaking evil, man. Corella DeVille. All right, we're moving on. We have a great light in the mood. Now, before we get to the light in the mood, let's get to the fact that your home has smells. All homes do. I'm not judging your home. You keep a clean home. I have no doubt about that. But you have smells. I have smells. Food has smells. Pets have smells. That's why when someone walks into your home or when you walk into another home, it has a odor to it. You want that to go away? You know Eden Pure Thunderstorm will remove the odors from your home? This thing takes out cigarette smells. It doesn't cover it up. It's not the weird potpourri thing you have. This thing actually cleans your air, cleaning out viruses, molds, smells out of your air. I bought one to begin with, and I now own 6 of them. 6 Eden Pure Thunderstorms. They're just glorious. They have $200 off a 3-pack right now. Don't miss out on that. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Code Jesse gets you $200 off a 3-pack. EdenPureDeals.com, all right? We'll be back. A lot of people are under the mistaken impression that we don't respect the vice president on the show, that we don't respect Vice President Dome. And I'm telling you, nothing could be further from the truth. And you know how you know? Because I'm going to play you her own words as we lighten the mood here. Now, before we play you the Vice President of the United States of America, let's talk about something serious really quickly here. It's hard to come back from combat. And I'm not some super stud, not one of these super warriors like we have out there. But I'll tell you, when I got back from Iraq, I wasn't in a good place. I used to, if you've watched the show for a while, you know this, I'm honest about this. I used to, when I got back, I got out of the Marine Corps shortly after. I used to go to my apartment, got an apartment by myself, didn't want to be around anybody. And when I wasn't at work, I would go turn off all the lights and close all the blinds and sit in the living room in a chair by myself and just drink beer in the dark. It's not in a good place. Very violent. I'm thinking about hurting people a lot. It's in a bad place. It's hard to come back from that and put yourself together. And I thank God I didn't have a family then. If I had to come home, wife, kids, I don't know how I would have done. These guys need help. Boulder Crest is helping them. Let's help Boulder Crest help these guys. This is a wonderful organization. Let's help. They're bringing these guys back. You can come out of it. By the grace of God, I came out of it. Go to bouldercrest.org, all right? Bouldercrest.org and help them. All right, enough of that. Out of respect, let's hear the Vice President of the United States of America.
So I want to just now do a public service announcement, and I need all the leaders here to help me, okay? To check if you qualify for the ACP, look at your neighbor. To check if you qualify, go to getinternet.gov. To check if you qualify, go to internet.gov.
I'll see you tomorrow.